Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to On the Ledge for another episode. Happy holidays to everybody. And I wanted to put something out there. I wanted to make sure that everyone had an opportunity to go out there and vote. Yes, in the state of Georgia. We want to make sure the right person gets in there so what happened last month doesn't ever happen again. Hopefully you did that, and hopefully you put your vote in and put that time in. I'm going to open the lines up today too. I have a fabulous guest, so I want to make sure the lines are open. If you want to give this lovely person a shout out or ask her any questions. The number to call in will be number 404-603-8770. Once again, the call-in number is 404-603-8770. Now, let's get to my guest here. I'm all hyped now because I'm happy that she came through. Her name is Andrea Smith with the Ads Agency. And Ads is with the capital, all caps, right?
Yeah.
All caps.
Yes, I actually say ADS, but it's cool because it spells ads like advertising. So.
Okay, so what does the ADS stand for?
It's actually my initials, so it's Andrea D. Smith, but it's lucky that it spells ads like advertising as well.
Nice.
A little nice double entendre happening.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit here. I had you on the show because, you know, we do know each other. We're part of a great organization, the Atlanta Black Chambers here in Atlanta, GA. And you are, I'm going to call you a marketing guru. I follow you on IG. I definitely follow you on Facebook. And
thank you.
You are very welcome. And I want the listeners to know a little bit about you. So talk a little bit about yourself.
Yes. So, thank you. First, thank you for having me on the show, Carl. It's super awesome to be here. Love what you're doing with your show and everything. And so about me, a little bit about me, Southeast girl. So grew up between South Carolina, Florida. My parents are now in Alabama. So and I've been here in Atlanta 3 years. Moved here directly from Scotland. So I was in Scotland for a year. I know you might not have known that.
I didn't know that. All right.
So was in Scotland in the UK for a year doing global branding work for a manufacturer before I came to Atlanta, and then did a little role for a couple months. Wasn't quite working out, and as I've learned since then, so many entrepreneurs were in that space where, they were just on a bad job, and that's really what pushed them to go into entrepreneurship in the first place. And I was not looking to do that.
You was not?
No. I was just going to go on my regular, I'm always felt confident I could find another role, and very confident in my own abilities. But I'd only been in Atlanta maybe 10 months, so I had a very small network. Knew nobody here besides my sister, who's a teacher down in Douglasville, so her network's not really conducive to my network.
Are y'all twins? Because y'all look
We're not twins, but people do say that. And when we grew up, people thought we were twins.
I thought y'all were twins. I said, okay, there's two of them.
She's actually taller than me. He's talking about my sister Nicole. She's actually 5'11", and our baby sister is 6'1". So I'm down here like 5'6".
You're 5'6", okay. I'm glad we were able to see each other eye to eye then. How about that?
All right. But to finish the quick story about me, just been in marketing branding my whole career, over 15 years now. And I'm a Clemson girl, so I got my MBA there and my undergrad there as well. Go Tigers. I know we're in Georgia country. Okay? I know that.
All right. And my engineer's like, oh, is that a roll tide? Oh, my goodness.
You know what? At least I can respect Alabama. I can get respect.
Oh, you can't respect Georgia?
I got love for you until we play you.
Okay.
So I'll pull for you.
Okay. All right. We're gonna leave that Alabama guy back there. Do me right. All right. So let me ask you a question. How did you get to Scotland?
Yeah. So that was such an interesting turn of events, and I was just in Charleston the other weekend at the C4W New Women's Conference, talking to them about the power of the fearless ask. And I think that was one of the reasons a friend of mine pulled me on that panel was the Scotland story. And honestly, it was just being open, to possibilities at the end of the day. But I was working in Columbia, South Carolina at the time, not Columbia like cool, sexy Columbia, but like
Okay.
the hot Columbia, South Carolina, and working for a manufacturing company who happened to have their global headquarters in Scotland.
Okay.
And so I was working with them. New job. I was there for 5 weeks, and the guy who's like the VP of sales for new build, that's like a term for manufacturing, called me in his office and pretty much said, hey, there's a role coming open in 15 minutes and I want you to apply for it.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah, in 15 minutes. And I want you to go for it. And it was not even remotely related to marketing, and I was like, are you sure? Because this is what I tell you, not, I don't know how open your station is to Christianity, spirituality, but
No, we do have a sister company right next door, is Love 860. So yeah, go ahead. You can talk. Yeah,
all right. So insert whatever you believe, but I think that's when God is leading you. I think sometimes he asks you to be open to possibilities before you, even the things that you don't necessarily feel qualified for or that you have the background for or whatever. That was a role, it was project management for a $195 million acquisition and that was at the time national, then it became global acquisitions. Never been in that space before, never done that at all. And, marketing is project management, so at least I could loosely tie that. But I was like, are you sure you want me? And he was like, yeah, no. I spent a little time with him on some marketing work, and I guess whatever he saw, he was like, hey, that's great. That's what I need. And so long story short, that kind of turned its way into a Scotland role. There was someone else on the company who saw they were monitoring roles that were coming open in the company, and they were like, Andrea, there's this role coming open. It's got your name all over it, and it was Scotland based. And I was like, why in the world would they pull someone who's American over to Scotland? Why would they not just pick someone who's already there? And she was like, just go for it. I think you should go for it. And so I did. I know the people who were, by that time I developed relationships with people there. So in any case, long story short, it just ended up being a wonderful circumstances of events that led into getting global exposure in front of the right people and the right teams. And there came a time where there was a lady who was on maternity leave for basically a year and wanted someone to cover for her, and I ended up getting that role.
Okay. So how long were you out there? Were you just out there for this 1 year? Or?
For the year.
For the year. Okay. We're going to come back in a second here. I want to talk a little bit more about Scotland because I've never been to Scotland, so I want you to give me your take on.
It's awesome.
It's awesome? That's all you want to say?
No, I have plenty to say, more than 30 minutes to say, but yeah.
Okay, all right. We're about to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You're with Carl Callender and my guest, Andrea Smith, and you're on the ledge.
It's so fun in here.
Yeah, I never. Are you more warm?
A little, but I can take this off.
Let me see if this fan is working. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to talk a little bit more about this Scotland deal because I have not been to Scotland, and I hear stories, and I need to talk to someone that actually knows and been there. What is it like in Scotland? You said awesome, but explain what awesome is all about.
I think it's awesome. Well, the most awesome thing about it is being able to immerse yourself in another country and culture for an extended period of time. And I wish that would be if I were a billionaire, if I were like Bill Gates or Oprah, it could do whatever I wanted with my money. After you blow it all and spend everything and do everything you want to do in life, then what do you do after that, once you, with your day-to-day self? And it would really be to afford people the opportunity to have those experiences in other countries, experience other cultures. So what's cool about Scotland, it's not the weather, because the weather I hear is like Seattle, even though I've never been to Seattle. But it's cold, rainy, it's a coastal city, it's wet, cold. But if you got all the right gear, you got to keep yourself waterproof and nice and warm, then it's not so bad. And what's great is like the architecture is gorgeous.
It is, okay.
Beautiful, and everything's so old world, and you just get this sense immediately that everything here is so much older than America.
Okay.
America as we know it, right?
Right.
The buildings have been there so much longer, and the history there is, so much older, in terms of recorded history. So it's just such a fascinating place to be in. But then you can also so easily get to other places in Europe for a lot cheaper than we can here in the U.S.
Okay. Now, I heard that there is an underground train that connects the UK to Europe.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, about a 40-minute ride?
I haven't been on it, but yeah. You
I
could
thought
go to
you
Paris.
been on it.
No, I haven't. I just flew everywhere. But
just
I do
flew,
know
okay.
about that there. I was a little like, I don't know if I want to do that.
You don't want to be underwater? Come on now. It's like a submarine. You won't even see the water.
That, not when it's like just so cheap to fly, like really like 100 pounds, which is like $120 or something for a simple flight to get you to Spain or Amsterdam or wherever. Compare that to having to do it from over here.
Right.
You're talking at a minimum of $2,000 just to fly for most dates, unless you get a nice deal. The cheapest I've ever gotten is like $1,200 for a flight. So.
That's not bad. Okay.
But compare that to once you're already over there.
Right.
It's $100 or something just to get to another country. It's like awesome and amazing. So.
Okay. So while you was over in Scotland, what other countries did you have opportunity to go to?
So been to the Netherlands. So Amsterdam was really fun. No, I did not do what you
Yeah,
think
I'm
you
looking
did.
at you. Yeah. Did you indulge?
I did it actually. I'm in Scott's honor,
Yeah,
so.
Scott's honor. I don't know. I don't know about that one. You know what you say about the innocent-looking young ladies? Y'all not innocent.
Wow! Just throw me way under the bus like that. I will say, what do they call that? A contact high if you're walking around.
Right.
I'm pretty certain I might have gotten some of that because there's a haze.
You probably stayed there the longest, right? At all of the
No,
countries
not
you
the
went to,
longest.
that's where you stayed
It
the
was
longest.
that was actually for like some big jazz thing that was going on. So they have like a huge jazz festival. It's like a marketer's dream to work on. It's just so fantastically huge. So I was there for that. Paris, so I got to go to Paris, Italy, Germany. I didn't get to do Denmark. I didn't get to do Spain.
You didn't get to go to Spain.
No.
Okay, Denmark is good, yeah.
But I went to London like as many times as I could.
Of course, yeah.
I'm like in love with London. And they treat Black people so different there. Like, to be quite honest. Are we allowed to talk about something?
Yeah, go ahead. I want you to speak freely. As long as you're not cussing, you can speak freely.
No, I'm not going to curse on your show. But yeah, that's one thing I noticed is that in London, people don't make assumptions about you just because of this the sense that I got. Some people may disagree with me, but they're not making immediate assumptions about you because just because your skin is brown, you could be Nigerian, you could be from Lagos, you could be from the islands, you could be, Indian for all anyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know exactly where you're from, so they just treat you like you could be from anywhere.
Right.
So you don't really have those same immediate stereotypes like you might get here in, several cities in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Just the mindset is so different. I think people are a lot more open, and so the other thing I noticed was hair color.
What's going on with the hair color?
So, like here in the U.S., you'll see ladies with that's largely us,
Right.
and you may have blue hair, purple hair, pink hair, green hair, those kinds of clearly unnatural colors.
Right.
But, here in the U.S., it tends to be more us that does that. In the U.K., you could see a 50-year-old banker-looking lady, like somebody's grandma, with light pink hair walking around. Like it's nothing.
Wow. So in other words, they're a little more open spirited, they free spirit, I should say, over in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many. They're not stressing as much.
Yeah, it's the stereotypes really aren't there. But I will say they are. I feel like they're more body conscious.
Mm-hmm.
At least the coworkers I had there, everyone was triathlete minded.
Right.
They were doing 100-mile hikes over the weekend. They're very conscious about their calorie intake. And, so I lost a lot of weight.
Well, that's something that we need to look at. I mean, something that we need to, take in for ourselves because
Yeah.
I'm working on, man, I gained 30 pounds in 1 year.
What were you
Yeah,
doing about that?
man, I was just eating,
Okay.
no exercising.
On the couch.
Hey,
You was a couch
my
potato.
exercise was leaving the apartment, going to my car. That was it, and coming back. That was my exercise. But yeah, I got to do better.
200 steps a day.
Yeah, I got to do better. I'm gonna do better. Let's talk about a little bit is about do you have any mentors? Who do you look up to? What motivates you every day to do what you do?
Yeah, well, do you mean direct mentors like that you can talk to, or do you mean like role models?
Well, we'll do both.
Okay. So I have a couple of mentors, and a lot are entrepreneurs, and I prefer the people who are entrepreneurs who are already in a much more successful place than I am.
Right.
So
Okay.
they're doing 100 million, 200 million a year in what they do, which to me is like goal setting. Like get your mind right.
Right.
We need to be in the right lane.
Right. I'm looking for 500,000. I'm looking. You talking about 200, 100 million?
They're serious. And they don't play. And so, I've got mentors on that level. There are mentors who are on the 250K, 500K level.
Okay.
So a little bit a step above where I am at the moment. And so all of that is wonderful for me to look at, and, because they can all teach you something different. So, one of my favorite mentors is actually in Greenville. We don't get to talk a lot, but when we do, it's very eye-opening. That is one of the $1 million people.
Okay.
I just got a new one. They're in staffing, which is very lucrative.
Good.
And then there's another guy I just met who's actually in Ohio. He's about to do a company exit that's going to get him basically $10 million in his pocket, and he just has a small share of the company.
Explain to me, would you say a company exit?
Yeah.
Explain that to
So
me.
they're selling the company, and then
Okay.
his share is gonna be worth $10 million. And so I was like, what are you gonna do with your life after that? So it's just amazing to hear
Right.
stories from people who've been there, done that, and we think that seems so impossible, but it's not impossible. Like, the money is there, and so it's just up to us to go after it and get it. So that's a long way to say I have a lot of fun mentors that I really look up to.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly good. The one that's about to do this company exit, let him know I'm gonna start a nonprofit just for him.
All right, just for him.
Just for him, so he can just go ahead and donate some money this way. Because I know he has it.
He is trying to think about what to do with that money. Because I was like, "Are you going to travel the world?" He's like, "I do that now." Yeah.
Okay.
I know. So that's kind of that situation where when you have so much money and you can do anything in the world with it, what would you do?
Okay.
And he's in that, so he's not even answered that question for himself yet. So kind of a cool place to be.
Yeah, a cool place to be.
I know.
I'm up here just thinking about that. Yeah, I got time to think about it. That's what position he's in. I got time to think about it. I'm in a good spot right now, so that's good. All right. Hey, we're about to take another break here, and when we come back, we're gonna talk and we're gonna dig a little bit deeper and talk about, the journey. The journey. Everybody has their own journey. We're gonna talk about yours when we come back.
All right.
We're about to take a break here, and when we come back, what's a good thing to say here? We're gonna have a good time. I got a nice little cut here that I wanted to play. And we're good? We're good? Okay. When we come back, you're on the ledge.
So now you're gonna get your song going here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Really?
Yeah, it's pretty tight. Y'all ladies, y'all be doing it big. Y'all ladies don't play. Welcome back, everybody. And we only, 30 minutes is not long enough.
No, it's very short.
And we got about another 3-4 minutes. So, all right, let's talk about your journey real quick before we go, because I want everyone to understand that once again, everybody's journey is different. So, how did you get to this point? What did you have to go through?
To start ADS, So, you know, I started out in undergrad as actually as pre-med, believe that or not. So my undergrad was microbiology, and ironically, my role model at the time was Ben Carson, obviously before he became political.
No comment.
Yeah, I know.
No comment.
I think a lot of people loved his books back then, Think Big and Gifted Hands and all that. So it really inspired me as a young kid to want to do pediatric neurosurgery and that kind of stuff. And I was so set on that and so one-track minded, and I never thought of anything else for myself. I was just so sure and tunnel vision focused on that one thing. And it wasn't until I actually shadowed some doctors, and that didn't actually happen until my junior year in college. You know, if I were smarter, I probably would have done that well before then.
That's okay.
But, you know, things happen for a reason. So that was, you know, I know we don't have enough time for all this. So through a long story of events, I really realized, like, I don't think this is what I thought it was. You
Right.
know, it's not that you're not capable to do it, because you can do anything you want to do. But I was really, is my heart actually in this? Is this what I was made to do? And I really started feeling like, no, it's not. But then I had no idea.
Mhm.
What else am I good at? I didn't know. And so I just reasoned to myself, well, the rest of the world is business. I have no business background. Nobody around me had a business background. Right, I'm going to get an MBA, that's a second degree, and then maybe I'll figure out there. And that's where I found the marketing and branding classes and fell absolutely in love. And really was like, people do this for a living. And it's all around us, like
Right.
everything we do in this space. I mean, this is very marketing and branding influenced. You know, so you can look at everything. Somebody had to design that banner behind you, and the naming of the station, you know, so much, it just completely opened my eyes to that world. And I have not looked back ever since. It's just been my thing I want to pursue ever since.
I'm just gonna let you know, the things that you do, it's like you're a natural. I'm serious. What you do is effortless when I watch you. So before we go here, I want you to let everyone know how they can reach out to you through social media or whatever outlets you want to let everyone know.
Awesome, thank you. So I would love to connect with your audience. They can find us at The ADS Agency. That's THEADS, like ads, like advertising. Agency, The ADS Agency, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We're at 305 subscribers on YouTube right now. Trying to get 350, of course.
Of course, yes.
But love it if you do that. And for our followers, we do have a free ebook through the end of the year. It's called Authentic Marketing Magic, that you can download. It's available on Amazon for $3.95, but you can get it for free. All you have to do is go to our ADS YouTube channel, and you'll see the links in every video we've got up. So
Nice. And before we go, do you have any shout outs? Because you have some people. Go ahead and give them some love.
oh my gosh, I have too many people. So if I have to pick one, I'm going to pick my grandmother, who's probably not listening to this at this moment because she's not plugged in on social media. But she is a beautiful, marvelous inspiration. She will be 90 in February.
Wow.
And her name's Ann Smith. So I will
Ann
give my
Smith.
shout out to my grandmother, who is marvelous and beautiful. Mwah.
That is
Your
beautiful.
favorite grandee loves you.
That is so beautiful. Now, your sister's not going to get mad at you, right?
My sister, so my sister, actually, I will give her one plug, and that'll make her watch the show and share it for you. It's Charlie Rocks, CHRLEIGH, so Charlie Rocks. Her name's Nicole Smith, but you can find her on Instagram, Charlie Rocks. And she has fabulous jewelry. Ladies, fabulous jewelry, handbags, guys, sorry, but you get this for your ladies. Jewelry and handbags, and it's gorgeous, and they're handmade, and they're fantastic. You won't see that like anywhere else. Her stuff is so trendy. Like, I take my fashion cues from my sister. So.
Okay, I was giving you all. I'm going to talk to your sister. All right, that's what's going to happen. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for being on the show, Andrea. You was fabulous.
Thank you so
Great
much.
information. And everybody, happy holidays, and thank you for listening to On the Ledge, and we are out of here. You are such an actor.
Fun.